To episode number 4 for this train sim world. Sorry, episode number 5. I do correct myself. Where is it? Let me just check. What episode are we on now? No, sorry. Have we done? How many episodes have we done? Alright. Done episode 2. So yeah, this is episode number 4, sorry. So yeah, welcome back to episode number 4. For this 5-part series up till Christmas. This is the 4th episode in the series overall, and today we're going to be doing the Great Western Railway, obviously, or the Great Western Express, or whatever you want to call it. Basically the Reading to Paddington route. Then basically that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to do probably 2 scenarios today on this one, by the way. So here's the first scenario that we're going to be doing, and then afterwards we'll do the second scenario. By the way, go check out my new video last night, hashtag exposed Uber, or Uber exposed. I do a recorded phone call with an Uber representative to show you the corruption that lays beyond Uber and in Uber. So yeah, go check that out.
Paddington.
So
There are
here we
3
go.
trains available for you to take control of. Each one provides an increasingly longer journey. Which will you choose?
So 3 trains. I've got a 60-minute train to Reading on platform 10. Then a 30-minute on platform 8, so, and then finally a 17-minute service on platform 14. So I'm gonna go for platform 10. You know, because it's basically an hour long, and I think that's how long basically I want the video to run for, roughly. So yeah, we're gonna go for platform 10. Then here. So this one departs in 2 minutes equally as well. So we ain't got long to basically get ready. Only got a couple of minutes. So let's open the doors. Let's get this train all set up, nice and ready for departure. So
get things set up, ready for departure. You'll be heading out shortly.
So be heading out shortly. Of course, that's what we've been told. You know. So obviously, you know, heading out very, very shortly. So obviously, whilst do that, got time, just about enough time to turn on the marker lights on these carriages quickly here, and then we'll be on our way. So. Tail lights are on. Good, good. Shut that door. How do you shut it? So, I think we've got about a minute still, if I'm correct, before we're departing. So, yeah, we've still got a minute before departure, so, obviously, that's all good, then marker lights are on. So, yeah, we've got about 30 seconds now before departure, so better get back to our cabin. And prepare the train for departure. We'll probably shut the door as soon as we get back to our cabin, and then we'll set off on our way down to Reading. Now I believe this is a stopper service, because it is going to take 60 minutes, which to me would indicate that it's a stopper service. Then here. So here we go then. Doors closing. Right, yep, doors are closing. Right, we can now go. So here we go then. So we're on our way now down to Reading. Then here, and obviously I'm not too familiar of Reading, not gonna lie. Never been there, I don't think, in my life, actually, to Reading, believe it or not. So, somewhere I'd probably like to go, but I don't really know what's in Reading. I believe it's a quite old town, if I'm correct, or old city, whatever you want to say, but I'm pretty sure it's quite old. Obviously not somewhere where I've ever gone myself, personally. Maybe it should. Or maybe I should go there one day. Anyway, so I'm gonna take the train just up the gears now a little bit more. So, obviously, right now, speed limit's 40, going about 2 miles over speed limit, but it don't matter, I've got a green signal. So next stop is Ealing Broadway, which is somewhere that I do know quite well. You know, don't go there all the time, but I go there enough to know the part of London where Ealing Broadway is. Obviously, this is part of the Central Line. I'm not Central Line, sorry. Not Central, what is it? Hammersmith and Circle. That's it. Hammersmith and Circle Line. That's part of. So I'm gonna change camera, a bit of a screen freeze there. This is the back of this train, and quite frankly, I like these trains. I believe they're diesel, if I'm correct, which obviously isn't really the modern way, but they are still nice trains. I think there might be a slight bit of electric in them, I'm not too sure, because they do have the ABS block, these lines, so probably a little bit of electric to them, but in terms of mainly actually diesel train, diesel powered, compared to other trains. Yeah, they're not your typical, let's say, electric train. They are, I believe, diesel with electric braking or something like that, you know. But yeah, they're still nice trains. I like them. They're pretty good at the accelerator, and they're very smooth, I think is the way to describe it. Unlike, let's say, the electric trains in Germany, the Speedbahn, these are a lot smoother. Like to describe the trains that we've driven, right? The southern trains, I would say, are very similar to the American ones. Maybe a bit more closer to the German Speedbahn ones or Speed Transit ones. Yeah. That's how I'd describe the southern. They're very similar to the Speed Transit ones or the German Transit ones, you know what I mean. The German ones are the fastest in terms of accelerating, and I feel like braking, best performance in terms of, you know, it's purely based for accelerating and braking. It's not mainly based for speed. In terms of these ones, these are the smoothest when it comes to accelerating and braking. So, they're just so smooth. Like, in terms of the American ones, where they come in and where they fit in, well, I wouldn't say they're bad trains. I'd just say they're, like, sort of in the middle of this and the Southern. The Southern is maybe a very, well, not aggressive, but it's a bit more aggressive than, you know, obviously the American train, but slightly less, well, a lot less aggressive than the German type train. So for me, that's where, you know, the American one is. Like, the American train is, so far that we've driven in this series, is sort of in the middle between this and the Southern. This one is, I'd say, the slowest in terms of, it feels like there's lag, if that makes sense, in terms of getting it up to speed. But once it's up to speed, it feels like it's very good at holding its momentum, if that makes sense. And in terms of the braking performance, feels quite good indeed. It don't feel like you have to brake too heavily. It feels like you're braking just right. So performance is good in these trains. I'm not saying that they're not good, but in my opinion, like, you know, these are the slowest but the smoothest as well, in terms of the way they perform. And I like that. I like that smoothness on the accelerator and decelerator. It doesn't feel like you have to brake aggressively. It feels like you can carry speed a little bit. Yeah, it feels like, you know, anyone could drive this maybe. But yeah, I like this train. Hope you like it as well. Anyway, we're going into now Ealing Broadway. We're quite nice and early actually. I think 2 minutes. So we're actually very early then coming in here to Ealing Broadway. Still, it does mean we'll be quite smooth on our accelerator and decelerator than that does, which is obviously good. This is perfect, absolute perfection. Perfect. So right, now time to open the doors. So we're now at, obviously, Ealing Broadway, and obviously at Ealing. Gonna probably wait here for a little while because we're running quite a fair amount early. But yeah, I like these trains, as I say. They do look fairly nice considering all things. They look certainly nicer than other trains. Yeah, I like them. Anyway, this is Ealing. Just show you around quickly. Here's the footbridge that leads out into the main street, into the main concourse. Not really much here to show you really, apart from, you know, it's a central London station really, maybe heading a little bit outskirtish. But yeah, it's certainly a station that I like. It isn't my favourite by no means. There's another GDUR train, Great Western Railway. Obviously we're 2 minutes ahead of schedule, so we've got quite a bit of a wait here till we can depart. Nice little shed here. There we go, let's sit down. Oh no, let's stand up. Oh, nice little shed. For us. There's our train. Of course. It's a nice station, Ealing. Can't lie. It is a nice station. Right, let's get back onto the other side and probably start shutting the doors any minute now. Obviously we've got a green signal, so there shouldn't be any problems in terms of departing. And really I think it should be okay in that essence. Anyway, let's go then. 30 seconds, we're slightly early. Alright, just gonna wait a further 10 seconds. By the time this door is shut, I think that's when we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Right, so we're now departing Ealing Broadway. So next station is in 5.2 miles, Hayes and Harlington. So got quite a distance to go to Hayes and Harlington, of course. That is quite some distance, in fact, overall. So I imagine we'll be on the high-speed line all the way down to Hayes and Harlington. You know, overall, on the higher speed end of the track. I think it's 5.2 miles. Something about doors. Something about door control. Something. Sure. What that means necessarily. So yeah. Have a look quickly at the train. I think we'll quickly wait till we get to Hayes and Harlington. But yeah, as I say, it is a nice station. We want to get this up. In fact, we do have time. So yeah, have a look at the train. Here we are. So this is the train. This is the first class. It's okay first class, I'm not gonna lie. It's fairly basic for a train of its nature. And here's the middle class or second class. As you can see, pretty fairly basic. They look rather uncomfortable seats, I have to say. In terms of how it looks, it's not the most fanciest interior, I'm not gonna lie. It is fairly basic. It feels rather cheap and tatty. In terms of the interior and what it reminds me of, it probably reminds me of, actually, there's this interior, I don't know why that door's not opening, but there's this interior on the London Northwestern Railway. I think it's London Northwestern now. They've changed the name to. But yeah, basically, it reminds me of that sort of interior. A very similar interior, a very dull interior. Maybe a bit worse, in fact, overall, but yeah. Anyway, so, obviously, still got a fair distance to go till we reach Hayes and Harlington, of course. Again, just go back out here, go on to, this street here. Might as well drive it like this down the train for a little while, to get to, like, Hayes and Harlington, maybe. Oh, what's crying out loud, what's happened there? But don't do it again. Right, there we go. So, obviously, right now speed limit is 75 miles per hour. It's right now yellow on this little segment. So, just gonna slow it down, cruise the train at this speed now, because I don't want to see another red. So I'm gonna again accelerate it up. We've got 0.7 miles. Again, it is another yellow signal, which would suggest maybe a possible train or something up ahead. I'm not too sure what it's suggesting to me right now. Why is there a yellow signal? But it's only a yellow signal at the moment. Only a 1.8 miles now left to run till Hayes and Harlington, so not too much further now. We're now certainly heading towards outer London now. You know, we're probably just about out of London, going over the M25 orbital. Not too sure where that actually starts, but I don't really know where you'd actually class. So, right, red signal in about 0.7 miles, so you're going to have to let it down now, 100%, because obviously given there's a red signal, you know, so obviously red signal. Not too sure why there's a red signal. Probably a train on the platform, if I'm correct. Yeah, there is. So there is a train just up ahead on the platform, obviously, which we're going to have to probably wait for. Hopefully it departs fairly soon, like, you know, so we can then make our approach into the station, of course. I don't really fancy sitting, you know, around for too long. So there's red signal just up ahead. Obviously it is red, meaning we do have to stop. And obviously we're waiting for a train just a little bit up ahead of us right now. I believe it was a train that we saw earlier that go by at Ealing Broadway. So yeah, we're just now waiting for that train to depart, which is now departing now, so we can now proceed. And again, we can now start to make our approach into Hayes and Harlington. which is only a short distance. I'll probably only take up to around 30 or 40, you know, right now. I don't think, you know, be appropriate to go any quicker than 40 in this approach to Hayes and Harlington, because it's only a short distance to Hayes and Harlington, about 700 yards right now. So yeah, you know, it is a short approach to Hayes and Harlington right now. Yeah, picking up 40 pH, just cruise into Hayes and Harlington. That's obviously, I think, the best idea right now, quite frankly, to do, because again, as I said, I don't want to sort of go in very hot, you know, like, it's probably best you go in nice and calm into Hayes and Harlington. So this is Hayes and Harlington, then here. Again, I don't know whether you'd class Hayes and Harlington the start of London. I personally wouldn't. I'd say, you know, the start of London is around maybe a stop backwards, but it's certainly still that urban city area, you know what I mean? It isn't no longer, you know, it isn't 100% rural, if you get where I'm coming from. So anyway, so this is Hayes and Harlington. You know, I was going to show you around Cavan, more or less, but yeah, that don't matter all too much. Right, so now at Hayes and Harlington then here. How many more times am I going to say Hayes and Harlington, I wonder? I feel like I've just said it enough than that. So, yeah, pretty good stop accuracy I had there, which is good. Again, you know, pretty good. I like, you know, stopping quite neatly on a platform. I don't like overshooting platforms or undershooting. It looks very tatty, I find. You know, here's our train. That's the couple. As you can see, the coupling is pretty good. Yeah, and we were actually due in again a minute later, so we're actually around again 2 minutes early. In fact, if it wasn't for the train up ahead, we would have been even earlier. So we're certainly running an early service right now. So yeah, gonna have to wait that extra minute. That's gone green now, meaning that we've got nothing to worry about. Yeah, what is there really here to show you? Not a lot, really. That's the thing, there isn't a lot to show. Like, you know, I wish they made these bits a bit more accessible, or made it a bit more free roaming, like making the central area a bit neater and nicer. I think that would be one thing I would suggest for them to improve, if you get where I'm coming from. But right now, it is a good game. Very, very good game. Not gonna lie. Right, anyway. Let's go. Feel like we're ready now. Again, about 10 seconds early. So here we go then. Departing Hayes and Harlington. Obviously, yellow signal already up ahead, which again could suggest another train in front of us. Again, I don't know whether we're following a stopper train. I believe we are. Let's see where that stopper train is. And funny enough, stopper train is where we are at right now, West Drayton. So we are basically following a stopper train right now. You know, not as far of a distance to West Drayton. You know, overall, like, yeah. So that train now defined, by the way, so we shouldn't have any problems here. At West Drayton should be absolutely fine. Now, that to me seems like a fairly short platform, possibly, we're coming into here at West Drayton. I hope not, but it certainly does look like it's going to be a shorter platform than we're used to. So we've got about 1.4 miles to go now. To the next station. Again, following a stopper train, just up in front, obviously. by the looks of it. I'm not sure whether that's to stop a train to Slough or to Reading. I'm not too sure what route that is. I presume it was one of the 3 services that we could have took today. You know, obviously there was 3 options. We took the longest option, or the longer route. Have a quick look where that 3rd train is. So 3rd train's in fact behind me roughly, I believe. Possibly about by a station or 2. So anyway, going quite now quickly down, then Drayton isn't too far away. You know, again, West Drayton is, you know, I'll probably keep saying it until I recognise somewhere that I don't recognise, if that makes sense. You know, again, it's not too far from London, West Drayton isn't. I think I've been there once or twice. You know, it's not, you know, London, of course. It's about 11 miles away. It's before you get to, you know, it's about as far as Wembley. So anyway, we're again on time. So, in fact, I've probably broken a little bit early here. Then, by the looks of it, maybe a bit too early. But yeah, we're going to be on time for this one, so it shouldn't be early, shouldn't be late. Here then at West Drayton, which is good. Again, I don't really like being too early myself, or too late. I like to just be on time. So, having a look at 3cam. Again, probably could have used up a bit more room on the platform, but everything's okay. We fitted into the platform nice and neatly. The thing about West Drayton, I find this platform very odd, because it is a long platform. Okay, as you can see, the train has easily fit there, has it not? But at the end of the day, as you can see, right, when you're coming in, because of that little bit there, I find it a bit disorientating, because I think, right, have I got a long enough train or short enough train to fit the whole train in? This 8-car train or 6-car train, whatever we're running right now. I'm thinking to myself, have we got enough? And because again, it ends quite early, as you can see, compared to these 2, I always think, geez, you know, it can look very disorientating, especially from the cab view. Very disorientating. Anyway, we've got about then enough. So, right, gonna depart here on time, and we can go straight away. No holding back here. Then at West Drayton this time. Then here. So, yeah. Let's see. Fine now, West Drayton. Oh, crying out loud, really? I've just realised something. Please say it worked. Just to... I've got to unlock the doors, believe it or not. Because, for whatever reason, it is pathetic. I thought we were ready to go. And now it's telling me lock the doors. So unlock the doors, lock the doors. What is this game playing at? Absolutely pathetic. So, one minute you want me to lock the doors, next minute you want me to not lock the doors. Make up your mind, game. Right, next stop is Slough. Got 5.1 miles to do that in. Again, should probably be able to do it. There we go then. That's our train depart. Then there. So, train now departing, obviously, and there goes our train. Still about to just see it in the distance as it goes off onto the horizon. Still see it. And now it's gone as it just disappears around that bend. Let's see if we can try and chase it. Let's see. Certainly not going as fast. No, not going to be able to chase that. Let's go to the front now. Then in. So again, we've got quite a distance now till Slough. Again, I don't know whether the train up ahead, the one that is stopping, is going to stop at every station. Not too sure whether or not it's sort of now doing a similar route to mine. By the looks of it, it's doing a similar route. You know, still got some way to go, like, before we get to Slough, believe it or not. Again, in a way we sort of had a bit of a mistake, or a bit of a mess up. But we're okay. So not too long before we'll be in Slough, actually. By the time we get to the next station, basically in Slough, aren't we? Let's be honest. So we've got 3 miles to go, but of course we're making very good progress towards Slough right now. Only got about, well, as soon as we clear this station, probably got about 2 miles to go. Maybe, if not less, between us and Slough right now. So we've got a speed limit change coming up soon, as we get into Slough on the approach, down to 75 miles per hour. Obviously, it won't affect us for now. Right now, the current speed limit is 90, so effectively that's the current speed limit that we have to obey. Again, that speed limit change is only on the approach into Slough. Now, Slough is 100% out of London. There's no arguing about that. You know, we're now certainly approaching that outskirt part of London now. 1.8 miles to go before we do reach Slough. 1.7, that is coming down quite fairly quickly indeed. Now, as we heading towards our top speed of 90. It isn't a massive speed limit change, like, don't get me wrong, it's not like we're going to be dropping that much speed. And again, it's on the approach into Slough, so means really by the time we sort of get anywhere close to that, we should be slowing down anyway naturally. So yeah, really it's not that much. So I'm gonna now start slowing the train down now, because we are approaching that speed limit change, and we're now approaching also Reading as well equally. So yeah, we're slowing the train down now on the approach into Slough station. Nice smooth entry into Slough here. Again, we're a little bit early, by about a minute, which isn't too bad. Now, the thing about Slough, it's quite a long platform, so don't feel afraid to sort of take it up a little bit. It is a pretty long platform, so you should be okay to fit the whole train in, especially with these 6 cars. Nice. So there we go. Perfect stopping. Then there, we can say. Right. So that's Slough. We're now at Slough. Now Slough is a city. Well, not a city. It's a town. Outside of London. Halfway between Reading and London. really. That is where Slough is. So yeah, you know, it's obviously a fairly nice city. Hello, Small Gresh. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the stream, by the way. Right, so again, we're gonna probably have to wait till I'd say 15 to, so actually we should be okay. How about enough time? Yeah, I'm gonna lock doors now, so we're effectively on time here. Right, fine Slough now. Again, we are on time now, by the looks of it. Where's the next stop? So next stop isn't as far, it's about 2 miles. Is it Barham? I presume it's pronounced Barham or Brabham. Not too sure. Anyway. Any comments, by the way, please comment down in the comment section below. You know, it would be appreciated if you've got any comments. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, it can be whatever, let's say, you want it to be. So long it's not rude or, you know, offensive, then I never mind. I'll always do my best to answer any questions. But feel free to make any comments as you wish, because that's the whole point of this channel. It's a community, not a business. Right, so ain't got too far now left to run. So we've got about a mile left to go before the next station. Just checking out far away from Reading. Okay, so we're certainly over now halfway there to Reading now. So yeah, we're certainly in the final, I would say 1/3 or in the final, you know, quarter of this journey left to run. So it just really, I think, now depends on how many more stops we've got to go. Like, you know, by the looks of it, we're not calling at every single stop, because we certainly haven't called at every single stop. By the looks of it, we're calling at maybe every other stop, you know, right now. But I don't know whether that's going to remain the same all the way to Reading. Maybe, you know, from here to Reading, we're going to be calling at you know, more stops. I just don't know at the moment. Anyway, we're coming into this station, and the platform's actually on the right then, interestingly, here. Obviously not on the left, which obviously it tends to be then. So yeah, it's on the right here, which is quite nice. You know, especially if you want it to be a little bit different, which I don't mind now. Are we early? I think we are slightly early, not too sure. Don't matter if we are or we aren't. Anyway, stop in here then. Nice smooth stop, some squeaky brakes as well. So here we go then. We're now in, obviously, let me have a quick look where we are. There's a symbol. Burnham. We're in Burnham. then this is. And obviously the main high-speed line to the left of us, as you can see, there's the high-speed railway tracks. Is there any high-speed railways actually out right now? Anything approaching us? Right now, from the looks, what I can see and tell, there isn't anything, you know, coming from Reading direction. No, by the looks of it, nothing coming from Reading direction. Anyway, back on our train and let's go. Obviously, again, don't have to really wait here because we're running on time and nice and early, in fact. So right, next stop is Taplow, I think, or Taplow, which again is 1.5 miles, so not too far of a journey down to Taplow. Again, it's not really that far anymore, so by the looks of it, we are stopping right now at every stop till Reading now, which wasn't the same prior to Slough. Anyway, Taplow is the next stop. It's sort of like just a quick accelerate, quick brake stop, so by the time we get up to around 60 or 50 or whatever, basically we'll be soon braking, you know, so yeah, just quick accelerate and braking here, is the stop again, so yeah, so far I do like this route. It is a nice route to drive, I personally think, you know, it's different, to say the least. Yeah, I do like this route. It is one of my more favourite routes in Train Sim World to do. But don't get me wrong, I don't mean I don't like any other routes. Like, I think the three of my favourites are the German routes, the American train service routes, the one we did yesterday, and so far the Southern. They're like my favourite. I'm not really a person who likes doing freight trains. Maybe you are different, maybe you do like freight trains, but I'm certainly not that type of person. I'm not really into the freight business. I don't mind doing passenger services, but when it comes to freight, I'm just not keen on it, as much as the passenger. Anyway, platform back on the left this time. This is Taplow. You know, I think I've heard of it, Taplow, probably have. Anyway, this is Taplow. Then here, as you can see, as we pull in to Taplow. And again, a little bit late, 17 seconds, but yeah, more or less on time. Can't beat myself up over 17 seconds for crying out loud. Can we? If we did that, would be ridiculous now. So here's Taplow. Again, a station I'm not too familiar of, like, overall in real life, so I don't know realistically whether or not the station does look like this. In fact, okay, what they should do, okay, and this is 1.4 Train Sim World, they need to update it, actually, I've just thought, because all these stations are now part of the Purple Line, aren't they? Kind to think of it. Yes, they are indeed. Because now Purple Line trains are a thing, aren't they? And obviously that, all these stations, they need to introduce the Purple Line stations into the game. Actually, kind to think of it, because GWR don't do it anymore, do they? So yeah. Anyway, that's one for the books, I guess. Anyway, so we're now in Taplow, then here, as we will soon be departing. So, unlock the doors now, and again, next station, only 1.8 of a mile, Maidenhead. That obviously, Maidenhead is the constituency of Theresa May, believe it or not. Obviously, just in case you're into politics, she still is an elected MP. She got re-elected in the 2019 general election just a week ago, as of this date. So yeah, she got obviously re-elected herself, you know. So next up is Maidenhead. Not too far from Taplow, clearly. So yeah, this will certainly look familiar to Theresa May if she's watching, you know what I mean? Maybe this route here, as you can see. You know, I'm not too sure, you know, whether she's someone who visits her local station, Theresa, but yeah, it is certainly Maidenhead, the home of British, or former British Prime Minister, Theresa May, of course. But a country world away from, obviously, Uxbridge and Ruislip, which is obviously the constituency of Boris Johnson, the current Prime Minister. So yeah, it's certainly a world away from that, of course, constituency. In fact, I used to, believe it or not, go to school in Uxbridge myself, so I know Uxbridge very well. It's a very nice place, Uxbridge. I am going to say, if you ever get the chance, visit Uxbridge. It's probably one of them places. It's not really recommended, maybe necessarily for tourists, no, but at the end of the day, okay, it isn't designed for tourists. And the thing is, okay, I know myself, personally, I don't really like being a tourist, if that makes sense. And when I say I don't like being a tourist, I understand tourism is important, but when I'm on holiday myself, I like to try and fit in with the locals a little bit more. I like to, let's say, do things that the locals would do, rather than just be a typical tourist, visiting all the typical sites. I want to visit sites maybe tourists don't visit, okay, as much. That's myself personally. I don't know whether that applies to all. Probably not, no, but that's myself. I like to certainly visit, you know, or be less of that typical tourist figure, myself. Anyway, this is Maidenhead. Obviously, Theresa May, if you're watching, just let me know whether this is an accurate image of what Maidenhead looks like. It looks nice though, I must say. It looks resurfaced in terms of the platform. Certainly looking very new indeed. That's a new platform indeed, isn't it? 100%. So all these platforms are so crisp and new, indeed. So yeah, Maidenhead, of course, home to former Prime Minister Theresa May, of course. Then here, as you can see, got 5 platforms. They're not a small station necessarily. It's a decent size station overall, has to be said than that. So yeah, obviously, this is Maidenhead. Again, I've never been to Maidenhead, of what I can remember, so I have no idea whether or not this is an accurate description of Maidenhead or not, in terms of what the station looks like. All I can say, it looks pretty nice, pretty clean, and if it looks anything like this in real life, I'll tell you what, Maidenhead, folks of Maidenhead, you are a very nice station indeed, then here, at Maidenhead. Anyway, shut the doors now, and it's time to go. The next station is 6.7 miles. That could quite frankly be Twyford. I was going to say it could have been also Reading equally, which it could have actually, but no, it's Twyford. Then here, that's our next station. So yeah, Twyford's the next one, 6.7 miles. So we've got quite a fair distance now to run before we actually do reach the next station. There we go then. This is obviously our train departing Maidenhead, the former constituency of Theresa May, and the constituency of Theresa May currently as it stands, where former British Prime Minister sits. Of course, this is obviously what it looks like. Again, obviously take this with a pinch of salt, because I'm pretty sure it looks nothing as like this, but I don't know how accurate this is. Obviously, it could be accurate, may not be. It doesn't have to be, you know, where I say 100% accurate, if you get where I come from, because obviously no need for it to be 100% accurate. But yeah, this is, I'm going to presume, where is the station then? Let's have a quick look. So, I'm going to say this road here leads to the station. Not too sure, actually. How do we get out? So, what does this road do here? So yeah, this road here, yeah, this is the entrance by the looks of it to the station. Does it have two entrances? I'm just wondering that. Or is it just a single entrance? Let's have a quick look. No, single entrance. So, that could be maybe a station car park there by the looks of it. Yeah, this is obviously the entrance to the station. Ooh, what car's that? Oh, that's a nice car, I must say. Very nice indeed. Love to own one of them. Not really, but yeah. Here are some houses. Are they actual houses? Yes, they are. You know. Obviously, if you can't go in them, then they're actually technically buildings, as in their models. So, for instance, wow, these are actually all buildings. I wonder whether these are the same. I think this one will be, yes. Oh, this way. See, right, these are, what I'm aware, they're just called, I'm not sure what they're called, but right, these ones over here are actually 3D buildings, so they're actually physical objects that have been put in the game. The same with the garages, to that degree. In terms of the car, yes, same with the car. So, the closer you get to the station, obviously, the much more, you make it real. So this is actually a building, not a sticker, if you get what I mean. Like, these are like stickers or fakes, some of them. So these are certainly stickers, like they're just put there, they're not actually physical. So yeah, they're not actually physical buildings, they're just there to for show, so you know, to make it look nice. And then if you go so far, then you get not even these types. So yeah, this is obviously Maidenhead. Again, I'm not too sure how this would stack up in real life. I'm not sure whether Maidenhead even looks anywhere close to this. Probably don't, but yeah, this is obviously their interpretation of what Maidenhead looks like. What's gone on here, guys? Oh, bit of a glitch. Still 6.2 miles to go. I need to be quite quick. My TV is on standby, meaning any minute now will turn on. Right, so it's saying 6.3 miles to go. It clearly isn't, because, well, it's, in all fairness, less than that, far less now, than that. So I'm going to start slowing down. We're actually almost at Tyford now. In fact, that's the station just up there. So yeah, it's saying 6.2. I don't know why it is saying that. Hopefully we'll just register as soon as we get to Tyford, that we're actually at the station. Again, we are on time quite significantly, so I've slowed the train down quite nicely then here. So we're coming in at a sensible, reasonable speed. Of course, we don't want to come in too fast, don't want to come in too slow either. So yeah, this is Tyford, obviously, a stop before Reading, or a stop after Reading, depending on obviously which direction you may be approaching the station from, of course. That was the station, but so clearly broken a bit early. Don't matter, anyway, we've got about 3 minutes before our next station anyway. I hope, I don't know which one's failed. Right, so it's the other one. Right, so I'm going to speed up to around 60 quickly. So yeah, here we are then. There we go then. So about 2 signals away. Sort of having to do this on guesswork here, in terms of how and where to pick our braking zone. It's only not too far away from the station, plus we've got a bit of time in hand, so well, I think it's just underneath that bridge. Tyford Station is, I'm pretty sure it is. I know it is, in fact. Yeah, so under that bridge is Tyford Station, so do I brake just under it? or a little bit before. Sunny. Not this bridge, but next bridge, ain't it? But I know it's this bridge where we need to start considering our breaking point. I'm going to bring it at that signal. That's going to be my breaking point then. Cool. Oh, there's another bridge. I know we're very close to Tyford. Right, there we go. That's the station, and that is 100% the bridge. Into Tyford. Right, I'm going to start braking now. Get the train nice and slow. So this is Tyford. Again, it's a stop just before Reading. There we go then. Slowing the train nice and easy down to a proper pace. Now, as you can see, this is technically a branch off station, meaning that it's a bit like Bletchley. If any of you lot have ever been to Bletchley, it's technically a branch off station, meaning it's not a terminus, so technically you don't really see trains terminate here. You know, well you do, technically, but it's not as in a main hub terminal, so this wouldn't be a station, let's say, you'd come to if you want to go, let's say, I don't know, to London, Paddington, or, you know, it isn't somewhere where you'd change for major connecting routes, really. It's just a small terminus. So yeah, trains do technically terminate here, and they branch off. I'm not actually sure where they branch off to, but I definitely know they do branch off here. You know, so it is sort of a route where, you know, obviously, you know, I'm not sure where they branch off to again. Can't actually say. Let me just quickly go in Google Maps to sort of find the station that we're at, obviously, because again, it's a station, you know, I'm not sure where they go. So, Tyford, right. So next station is in 1.1 miles, Reading, of course. Oh, that's a bit short, is it? It's got to be more than that. It's about 2.1, ain't it? I thought. Anyway, let's have a quick look where that station goes to. So here's the station. So station branches up over there then. Right, so it goes Wargrave over a bridge back out into the country. Shiplake, I presume it's called Shiplake. So Shiplake. And by the way, that's not shit, it's ship. S-H-I-P. Shiplake. Just wanted to make sure everyone's aware. So just in case you're mishearing it, you know. Then Henley-on-Thames. I'm pretty sure that, by the looks of it, is the final station. So yeah, it goes basically Henley-on-Thames, and it's a single route. So meaning, as in, it's not dictated by, let's say, necessarily fast trains. Right, that's saying 11 miles, and Reading is not 11 miles away from here. I was saying 1 mile. I don't know what's going on with mileage in terms of how far each station is. It certainly isn't that far to Reading. It's probably no more than about 2 miles then, based on this, and yeah, what I'm viewing. So yeah, I will know when I'm in Reading anyway. I'm quite used to this route by now, quite frankly. Right now we're on the high-speed line again, so this is where all the high-speed trains would actually be. you know. Right, that's better. 3.1. That's a lot better. I believe that it's 3.1 before. I believe it's, you know, whatever it was saying up there, 11 miles to Reading. Gee, I'll tell you what, that is not true. 11 miles to Reading from Tyford. If it was, I'll tell you what, there'd be 101 stops before Reading then, and Tyford wouldn't be the next stop down the route then from Reading. But yeah, anyway, don't matter, I guess. Yeah, that, as I say, that branch of route goes down to, obviously, Henley-on-Thames. Again, I'm not too familiar what Henley-on-Thames is, or where it is, you know, in terms of, what's there. I imagine everything's there that you need, probably the boots, you know, as in a chemist, probably a Tesco's, or a Waitrose and a Sainsbury's and an Iceland, probably everything that you need, all your essential bits and bobs. I imagine they have a hospital as well, and a GP surgeries, and a school probably. But yeah, again, I'm not too sure what it looks like, the place, you know. Yeah, you know, again, I can't really comment, say, oh, it's a nice place or a bad place. Again, I can't really comment on that and say what the actual place looks like. I don't want to critique it either, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what Southfields looks like. Obviously it's part of London, yes, but what does it look like? Well, that's a rather intriguing question, if you were to ask me. You know, it's a nice part of London, put it that way. And that's all I'll say. Anyway, moving on. 0.9 miles now left to run on this journey. It's been about an hour, has it taken us? Yes, it has indeed. So it's been a good hour journey. And it's been a good journey, I'd say, down. A successful journey down to Reading. We've been on time for majority of our stops, if not slightly early. Been no major problems, maybe one or two hiccups, but nothing that would disorientate us then. As we come in towards Reading, we're on the approach end here into Reading for the final time then in this journey. As I say, it's been a good journey. I'm happy with the way it went, the journey overall. We now enter Reading. Now I can confirm Reading does look like this. I've seen photos of it, you know, so yeah, it certainly does look somewhat like this. Again, I don't know how accurate again it is. It does look though somewhat like this, the station of Reading. Anyway, braking now nice and smoothly into Reading as we slow the train down. It's a long platform, obviously. Reading is easily going to fit in this obviously 6-car train with ease. Shouldn't be any struggles really to fit in a 6-car train here at Reading. I wouldn't have said. So yeah, as you can see. And again, we are on time. Yeah, obviously. What's gone on here? Crying out loud, you're having an absolute joke, aren't you? I think what's happened is I can't actually exit the cabin, so I may complete the journey, but I don't know whether I'll be able to actually exit the cabin to complete the entire route. That would be a great shame if we can't exit the cabin. For whatever reason, saying this is the default interior camera, but as you can see, I'm not in the cabin. I'm sort of stood right now on top, or floating in the air. Objective complete, that's good. So, apply the brake, full service. Alright, Cool. Reverser to off. Okay, cool. Right, I could do that, but a bit of a problem. Can't do it. This is pathetic. Let me see if there's a way. There's got to be a way. I hope there's a way. If I go free cam, here we go. Then we go open that door. See if we can somehow sneak in. No, we can't. Come on. Not gonna do it from this angle, is it? No. Right, let's go in the train then. Really, I can't even sneak through this little gap here. Oh, for crying out loud, this is an absolute joke. No, that's not going to work. Ow. I may just found a way. We can get the right angle on this, guess what? Ooh, come on, right angle, just need right angle and a bit of luck. It's not happening, is it? No. Yeah, that's not happening. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until the next time, folks. Clearly there's been a bit of a issue then there. I don't know why it's done this to me. Not too sure, but oh well. Until next time then, folks. See you next time.